In this video, we're going to address some of the common mistakes that people make when they or their family gets sick with some kind of virus or infection. Now, I'm going to start by saying this isn't medical advice. You have to go and do what's right for you and what's right between you and your doctor. But in saying that, there's certain times where you should push or question your doctor if they're offering certain solutions that don't necessarily make sense. Also, this goes more for viral infections. Bacterial infections are very different. Starting with this first point I'm going to make. Some people, as soon as they get sick or as soon as their child is sick, they go and get them put on antibiotics. Now, antibiotics, in my opinion, are one of the greatest medical findings in the history of humankind. There are so many people who are alive because of antibiotics. They can wipe out bacterial infections so fast that would have killed you in years past, but now you take them for 5 to 10 days and you're healed. It truly is a miracle. The problem now, though, is they get used so often, especially in kids with ear infections, which, if you look at the stats, they say are anywhere from 95 to 98% of viral infections. And we know antibiotics don't do anything for viruses. So when all these kids are being pumped full of antibiotics, they're wiping out the gut microbiome, they're creating a whole host of other health issues, which, if you have a life-threatening bacterial infection, none of these issues matter because you can heal from those, but you can't heal from a life-threatening bacterial infection if you don't take the antibiotic. But for these viral ear infections or viral flus or anything else and lung issues, throwing antibiotics at it just in case is actually harming that person's immune system, weakening it and making it harder for them to deal with whatever bug they've got anyway. So if you ever take your kids into the pediatrician and they say, oh, they have an ear infection, here's an antibiotic, this is when you want to lean into them a little bit and push back and say, well, hang on, is it a bacterial infection or is it viral? If it's not bacterial, then they shouldn't be taking the antibiotic. But if they have strep and an abscess in their throat, you absolutely should take an antibiotic, even if you're the most natural-minded parent out there and you don't want your child to take those antibiotics unless you have to. For example, my 6.5-year-old made it till she was about 6 without ever needing antibiotics. Then she got a strep infection that we got under control and probably stopped what we're doing just a hair too early, and it came back with a vengeance. So at that point, you say, fine, let's go use antibiotics. That's what they're there for. And then I'll just deal with healing her gut over the next 6 months afterwards. And that's what we did, and she hasn't been sick again. So you want to use them where you need to use them, but you don't want to use them for viral infections because there is a big payoff. Also, when it comes to fevers, this one is controversial, and I don't know why. Because when you look at the research behind fevers, our body makes them for a reason. We need them to kill off bugs, but yet we're taught to be scared of them. Now, there is a time where a fever can be a problem. And again, this is where you need to have a pediatrician you trust, who you know isn't going to just give you drugs to try and stop that fever just because there's a fever there. You should only be doing that when there's a danger. So how do we know the difference? Well, often you'll see different temperatures thrown around as, well, this is high, this is dangerous, or things like that. But if you listen to the true experts on fevers, they'll tell you it's not the temperature that matters, it's how the person's reacting. So let's focus on kids for a moment here. Again, my daughter, my 6-year-old, makes very high fevers when she gets sick, but she drinks lots of fluid, she never gets lethargic. I mean, she's more tired and naps a lot, but other than that, she's normal, she can talk, she can do her thing, that's fine. But if she got very groggy and lethargic and was not drinking at all, not drinking water, or when they're younger and they're not drinking much breast milk, then you have a problem. And that could be at 100 degrees, it might not be at 105. So the temperature rule sets people up for failure because you might think, oh, my child's only at 101, that's fine, but that could be very dangerous. So this is why you need a pediatrician you trust. So you've got to go and find and search around till you get one that you know isn't just going to throw drugs at it. Because on the flip side of that is if you artificially lower a fever by taking medication, the research is showing that the more times you do that, the harder it's going to be for your body to make fevers in the future. And we need fevers. They're an inbuilt mechanism that our body has to kill bugs. So again, we shouldn't be scared of this thing that 99% of the time is not just safe, but is needed. We just have to be aware to look for that 1% where we go, no, this is a problem, this needs to be dealt with. So as an adult, you want to try and work through it. And you're going to know, am I drinking fluid? Am I starting to get woozy? In that case, then you might need to go do something, but don't go and take medication. just because you feel a fever coming on. You need that thing to work. Again though, just make sure you're drinking a lot of fluid. If you are and you feel okay other than just a bit tired, then your body's doing its job. Hey, Dr. Rodney here. If you want to get my free PDF, 5 hacks for boosting your immune system, just go into the description of this video, click on the link, download it, and if you have any questions on it, just send me a message and I'll help you out with it. The next mistake I see is people throw too many remedies at their illness all at once. Now, if you're already taking a lot of supplements and eating really healthy and doing a lot of detox strategies, then adding some extra supplements around a sickness is fine. I already take NAC and vitamin C and vitamin D, but I'll increase those. I'll add zinc, I'll add quercetin. Then if I'm still not getting better, I might add some elderberry or echinacea, whatever I need to do there. But I'm layering on top. I'm not just getting 15 things when I don't take anything and throwing all 15 at the body. You just overwhelm an immune system that's already struggling to fight something, and it's just not gonna work, and it might actually make you worse. So just be smart as you layer those things in, and the same goes for those detox strategies. I use my infrared sauna basically every day. So when I get sick, I still use it. I just might not go as hot or as long. But if you don't do that, and then just when you're sick, you think, I'm gonna detox, I'm gonna do infrared sauna, I'm gonna do lymphatic drainage, I'm gonna dry brush, it's gonna be too much again. So it depends on what your body's already used to. I think infrared saunas are fantastic for long-term illness prevention. And if you're already using them, they're fantastic to help with symptoms. But it's way too much for your body. If you don't normally do them, then you go and try and get in at 130 or 140 degrees into a sauna, it's just gonna wipe you out. It's not a smart move. And the last mistake is kind of goes with the fever thing, but in general, you don't wanna take medications that are gonna suppress your immune system unless you really need to. Again, meaning you're so sick that your body isn't functioning, it's not getting back under control, then yeah, you might have to do something. But our immune system is working the way it is for a reason. It is working really hard to try and kill whatever bugs are there. Shutting it down artificially isn't gonna help anything. So if you've made it this far, I'd love if you hit the subscribe button there and follow my videos to get more information like this. And my job is to try and give as much information as I can to challenge you to think. Whether you agree with me or not is irrelevant. As long as it causes you to look at what you're already doing, then it's been a success.